All right, let's rock and roll. Okay, so you guys all took the tests for the color code, so you know what colors you are. I want to start this out because when I was listening to this book, I was seriously like dying laughing because for one, he gives like very exaggerated examples because he wants you to remember the types, but it's just funny because some things are more, come across as very positive and some things can be taken as negative. So as I go through each color, I just want you guys to know that every single color makes a very strong leader. There is no wrong color or better color to be. Each color has their strengths. Each color has their weaknesses. Each one is just as capable as the other. And honestly, you need all colors on your team. That's what's most important because, we don't all have the same strengths. And so other colors are going to help you with your weaknesses. And so having a diverse team is a really, really good thing. All right. So I'm going to start out with yellow. And the word you are going to want to remember with yellow is help. So if you're in a conversation with someone and they're talking about helping someone or they want to help someone, then that's a good clue that they're a yellow. And when you talk to them, you are going to want to use the word help as well. So you are going to want to talk to them about how they can help others with this business or, how it's going to help them to use these products. They are all about helping. Yellows want everyone to get along. They're the peacemakers. They're very, very trustworthy. They're great leaders because of their relationships with people and their caring attitude. They will avoid conflict. They don't like for there to be an upset. So they're going to keep the peace. You're not going to see them getting into fights and quarrels. They can be quieter and they lead by example rather than telling people what to do. So yellows don't want to feel like they are a manager or a boss because they don't want to tell someone they're doing something wrong and they don't want to boss someone around. So they are they really do lead from the front as far as leading from example, and they will show others what they do, but they're not going to be the ones that are like, you need to do this, you need to do that. Let's see. Yellows also don't respond well to being pushed around. They are happy to follow a leader as long as that leader, they feel like they can trust them. But what is huge is they need to feel respected by that leader, and they need to feel like their feelings and their input are respected by that leader. Otherwise, they will fall off. They will not stick with it. Ethics and integrity are super, super important to yellows. So that also kind of plays into, they have to feel like they can trust you, and, they have to feel like you are a person of integrity, that you're a good person, and that you're not looking out for yourself, that you're looking out for others. Because if a yellow senses that you're looking out for yourself, then they're not going to want to have anything to do with you. Just remember, they're all about helping people. They're all about other people. They're not going to complain about people. They're not going to complain about their teams, and they're not going to criticize others. They're very patient and understanding. They can be seen as wishy-washy and indecisive, and that's not necessarily true. It's just that it kind of plays into them wanting to please. They're very great listeners, and they're excellent team players. They're great for events and getting people, when you get people together, because they want to make sure that everyone's okay. They're going to be the ones that are like, what can I bring? What can I do to help? So as much as they want, they're the helpers. So think of it that way. They always want to know a way to help. Let's see. So, talk about how the products are going to help people, how the opportunity helps people. They're not going to be interested so much in like the compensation plan and talking about bonuses and things like that. That's not going to be their number one priority. How to recognize a yellow personality. A lot of times they're more softer spoken. They're not going to be the loud person in the room. They will say words like help, give, care, share, comfort. Comfort's very important to them. They want to feel comfortable, and they want everyone else to feel comfortable as well. You know, and as I go through all of these, start looking at people that you know, maybe people who are on your team, people who are your friends, and start getting in the habit of trying to figure out what color people are. So if you were going to invite a yellow to a party, a conversation you could have with them is, I need a favor. I have a wrap party on Sunday, and it would really help me out if you would come. We have supplements that are helping people with their health, and skincare that is helping people with their skin. Wraps that are giving people their confidence back. We are giving mothers the opportunity to make money and be home with their kids. I need to bring a guest to the party. Would you please be my guest? So and you don't have to say all of those things, but basically the gist of that conversation is you're asking them for help, asking them for a favor, and letting them know that they're going to be helping other people. So that's what you need to remember when talking to yellows. They also, it's balance is very important to them. So they can't be shoved around. You cannot expect a yellow to be full force. And we'll talk about, the other colors, and you'll see that, other colors are going to be your people that are full force. But yellows, you cannot push them that way, and you cannot expect them to operate that way because they need to keep balance. They're going to feel, pushed around, overwhelmed, and they're not respected, and they're going to withdraw. So we got to be good to our yellows. The next one is blue. So the word to remember for blue is party. So blues love party, adventure, and trying new things. They love travel and meeting new people. Everyone they meet is instantly a friend. They start conversations with people right away. They're going to be the people that are standing in the elevator and start talking to you and saying hi. Blues are always talking, so that's another good way to recognize a blue is they love to talk. They're natural promoters, so they're the ones that when they go see a movie, they have to tell everybody about it. They went and got their hair done and they love it, they have to tell everybody to go get their hair done. So they're natural promoters that way. Rules are only a suggestion to blue, so they're not going to be your rule followers. Jackie. I'm blue, if you guys didn't know. I'm a pretty dead giveaway, but they're not going to be the ones that you're going to want to say like, hey, what are the specifics on these rules and what, because to a blue, everything is a blurred line, it's like, meh. So some negative qualities about blue is that they talk too much, and so they do not listen. Also, their brains are going so fast in so many different directions that usually by the time someone is answering their question of what they asked, their brain is already thinking of the next 5 things, and they're not even hearing what the person is saying. They're going to be the people that try to finish your sentence when you're talking to them. And also they're going to change the subject within the conversation a bunch of times because their brains are just going all over the place. They're not good at details at all, but they are your big picture people. So blues are great at seeing, what's, big picture, not necessarily what's right now. They're not going to need to know, how do I get paid? What percentages do I get paid on? Exactly how do I get a bonus? Like when I started this business, I didn't even know I had to get people on the team. I didn't know anything I had to do. I just knew that the wraps sounded amazing. So they're very shoot from the hip, just like jump all in and don't need details. They're always going to look for fun. They take action and don't need information or facts. They want to laugh and be with people who make them laugh, and they're always living in the moment. They're very excited. They're going to be your louder happy, laughing people. They always want to be in on the action, and they want to be around other people. Fun is what motivates a blue. So if a blue is not having fun, they lose interest immediately and they want nothing to do with it. Vocabulary of a blue, of how you will, understand if someone is a blue, is they'll say things like excellent, fun, exciting, travel, awesome, just big action, words and big adjectives. All right. You can also recognize a blue if someone says something like, my job is boring. I want something fun and exciting. I don't want to be trapped behind a desk. Cannot tell you how many times that came out of my mouth. If you were going to invite a blue to a wrap party, you would say, we have a party tomorrow night and it's going to be so much fun. You will have the opportunity to meet a lot of new people, and this business is a blast. We get to party with our friends and go on paid vacations. You're going to love this. When you are talking to a blue, it is not as important of what you are saying as the excitement in your voice. That is what is going to be bigger to them, because they're not detail people. All right, let's move on to red. All right, so the word for red is money. All right, reds are very money driven. They like to be in charge. They feel very comfortable being the boss. They want to be the ones that are telling other people what to do. They are great organizers, and they are bottom line people who want results. They hate it when people have excuses. They're all about, you need to get it done, and I don't want to hear anything else about it. They will earn typically the most money in network marketing because they will not sleep until they have met their goals, and they will keep pushing their goals further because they are money motivated. So where yellows are going to be more motivated by helping people, blues are going to be more motivated by having fun, reds are motivated by the money. Let's see. So reds want things done their way. They are going to take charge of their business though. So if you have a red in your downline, you are not going to have to worry about telling them what to do. And honestly, if you are trying to tell them what to do, they're not going to take to it well. They're going to do what they want to do anyway. So once you get a red, you know that they're going to just take care of their business, and you're not going to have to handhold or worry about them. They're going to achieve their goals at all costs. The negative about a red is that they don't listen to people always because they feel like their way is the best way. They know what's right. Another thing about reds is that they can be pushy. So like if you have a red and a yellow can feel very, very pushed around by a red and not respected because, they're trying to help, and a red is like, go do this, go get money. So that is something to be aware of. Reds love competition. They love recognition. They're very comfortable being in the spotlight. They see things in terms of winners and losers because they have a competitive mind themselves. So to them, there is winning and losing, and not just, there's not an in between, because that's how it is for them. Let's see. Reds will think, I need to help these people and tell them what to do. If I didn't manage them, they would get nothing done. So, reds are in their way helping. So I'm saying this in terms of like the differences between people. Reds are being helpful in their mind, and other colors can perceive that as not being helpful. So, all right. Words for a red are going to be money, power, compete, winning, losing, results, excuses, leader, image, boss, control. You want to ask questions to a red like reds will ask questions like, what's the bottom line? How many people do I need to sponsor to get $1,000 bonus? They use money to measure success. So you are going to want to talk to them about bonuses and how much they can make. You're going to want to let them know that they are going to be their own boss, that they are going to have a team under them, that they are going to get to do things exactly how they want to do them. Those are all going to be very appealing things to a red. Stay out of the way of reds as far as do not try to micromanage them. Give them support when they want it. But, you know, like I said, they're going to take care of their own business. They're going to get things done, and you're not going to have to worry about them. They will also take care of all the problems within their team. So they're not going to come to you saying, hey, can you handle this? Can you handle that? They're going to take care of all of that. And they're also going to make you a lot of money. So love your reds. All right. Oh, sorry. He gave this example, and I thought it was pretty funny because it just shows how, and we'll go into greens next, but it just shows how all the colors are different. So a yellow will think, you know, if a red says something to a yellow, the yellow will think, you're so cruel. A blue will think, oh, you're being uptight. This is no fun. A green will think, I'm going to do my own research and do what makes sense to me because I don't trust the research that you've done. So we'll go into greens next. All right. Greens are your you want to think of the word information. Greens are going to be your accountants, your engineers. They're your analytical people. They love like collecting all the data, all the information. They love spreadsheets. They love charts. They're all about logic, facts. They're not emotional people. So they are great in business at just making very logical decisions and not coming at things from an emotional point of view, which especially in this business that can be super emotional, that can be a really great quality to not get caught up in the emotions that we get when we ride the waves. So they love the information. They see things more in black and white. So greens are very right and wrong. There's not a gray area. They want to sit in the back of the room. They don't want the spotlight. They don't want to interact with people so much. They're going to be the ones that they want to build a business, but they don't want to get out and do it meeting people. They're going to be more comfortable doing it like, you know, leaving cards places or running ads, social media, you know, anything where they can, you know, text or type is way more comfortable to a green because they don't want to have, you know, conversations and really start getting to know people. That's just not that they don't like people. That's just not comfortable for them. And greens are slow decision makers because they never feel like they have enough facts. So they're going to be slower to start. They're going to be the people that when you're talking to them and you feel like you just gave this whole presentation and all the information they asked for, and then they're like, well, I'm going to go and do some research on this and look it up and see what I find. And if you could send me over some information. And for me, I'm like, I don't have any more like, what other information do you need? Like, I don't have any more information. So those are your greens. And if you push a green and you try to rush their decision, they are going to be like, nope, done. And they're not going to talk to you. So as soon as you notice when you're talking to someone that they just keep needing more and more information, they're someone that you can check with every so often. But if you're following up with a green like crazy, they are going to be done with you very, very quickly. They have to come to a decision on their own. Even though they take a long time, when they do come to a decision, they are going to stick with it and be loyal because they don't like blues where we're just like, yeah, let's do it. But, you know, we're also the first to quit because we're just like, I'm not having fun anymore. Greens they're going to take longer to join, but they're going to stay with it once they've made that decision because they did not take that decision lightly. They're not going to be super affectionate. So greens are going to be people that you go up to hug them and they like tense up and like back away. They are going to be slower starting when they first join the business, just because they're going to feel like they need to know all the information about all the products and have Marlo wants in on the meeting. They want to have all the information on all the products. They don't ever want to be asked a question that they don't know the answer to. So you'll have to work with your greens on giving them, small steps they can take to get their business going, that they do feel like they have enough information to start. And just know that to them, that's very uncomfortable. They don't want to start until they know all the facts. So, but once they get their business going and they do feel like they know everything, they're going to be great. Greens always have a plan. They don't like going to big events. They're very skeptical, so they need proof, but they're also very focused and loyal. They make sure things are done right, and they don't like to be sold. If you are going to invite a green to a party, you would say, can you come to a party tomorrow night? I really need your opinion. You don't need to participate or buy anything. I just want your thoughts. So that is going to be something that is going to make a green feel comfortable going to a party and kind of intrigue them to come, because they want to give their thoughts, because since they're analytical, they feel like they know the best way and they'll be able to help you out that way. Let's see here. So like I said, you need all on your team. Each one has its strengths and its weaknesses. There's no right or wrong. Everyone works together so well. The reds are going to keep people very focused and organized, and they're also going to take charge. And so they're going to relieve you of a lot of, extra work. The yellows are going to, they're your relationship people. They're always going to be super caring and helpful. They're going to give the best customer service. Yellows are the ones that call their, customers and check on them. How are you liking your products? So they're the ones that have the best customer support, the best customer relationships, same with people on their team. They might be slower to get going because they're not ever going to be like pushy or full force. Same with greens. Both of those, they're not going to be your high recruiters. So they're not going to recruit as many people, but they will have just as a successful business because people stay with them. So they might not, be your big enrollers, but at the same time, they're going to keep everyone that joins them. So they're going to have a lot of success. Reds are going to be your high recruiters. They're going to, be your big enrollers. They're also going to have more turnover though, just because, they're very goal oriented. So they're moving on, to their next goal. They're not taking the time that like a yellow is to have those relationships and to, have the customer service and all of that. Blues are going to meet a lot of people. They can recruit people if people, mostly if people want to sign right away. Blues have a hard time with follow-up. So they're not the best at going back and, checking on customers. They're not the best at following up with people they've already talked to join the business and doing those follow-ups, because they're more excited about meeting new people and talking to new people and who new is interested. And so with blues, it's a good thing to work on with them, their follow-up, and to help them create some type of schedule or some type of system, because blues are completely unorganized. Don't have a system for anything. I get all of my systems from Jackie and Tari, because if you guys saw my desk right now, it's my husband's worst nightmare. So you're going to have to help your blues with things like follow-up and helping them come up with simple ways to be a little bit more organized. Blues are terrible at being on time. So if you're a blue and you are going to meet with a green, greens find it very disrespectful of their time if you are even a little bit late. They take that very personally. So if you are blue, you need to make sure that you are getting your stuff together and being there, because if you show up, it doesn't matter what you're going to talk about with that green, they already have lost respect for you and they don't want to listen. So that's some other stuff to be conscious of. Trying to see what, okay, let's see here. So know the words, remember the words in your prospect's language. He talked about how it's kind of like if you went to a foreign country and you didn't speak the same language and you're telling them all of these wonderful things about your products and your business and, you know, how you can change their life. It doesn't matter because they're not understanding you. And that is kind of the difference between the colors, because each color is motivated by different things and has, you know, different priorities. And so, you know, if you're going and you're, you know, talking to, like, let's say the yellow example that we used earlier about, oh, like, look at all this money you're going to make, that's not resonating with them. Where if you're talking to them on a more emotional level of helping, that's going to resonate with them. Or, you know, being able to be home with kids and family, you know, anything relationships. Just like if you go and try to push a green and you're just like, I'm so excited, you know, so like if a blue goes to green and it's like, yeah, you know, the green's like, what, like, you're crazy and I need to go do my research and you're a nut. So it's very important to recognize what color the person is you're talking to when you are talking to potentials, but it's also important to recognize what color someone on your team is, because I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this has given me such a great understanding into knowing how people operate and, you know, what's going to motivate them. Also, you know, what's going to offend them, you know. I know that, you know, blues, we can come up as being kind of just like flippant and not caring about things. And so like, that's something that I have to you know, just be aware of, is that, you know, when I'm talking to someone, make sure that they feel respected by me. So an exercise you guys can do is to every day talk to a new person and then try to listen for words that, you know, I gave you for their vocabulary, and see if you can start to decipher if someone is going to be, you know, red, yellow, green, blue. Another thing he said is that for your prospects, so this is a very quick way to try to figure someone out and speak their language. I mean, we're not looking for a psychoanalysis of, you know, their mental state or anything else. We're just trying to figure out a way to more effectively communicate with people. You're going to know about 50% of the people you talk to. So this is not 100%. It's not foolproof, but for those 50% that you do know and you can communicate with effectively, you're going to have like 90% success rate. It's going to go over very, very well because you guys have a rapport going. Wanted to say one more thing, and of course I have forgotten it. But, that was the last thing, is that everybody has a dominant color. And I'm sure you guys saw when you took the test, everybody has a dominant color. Some people can have a really strong secondary color. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know, well, I'm green, but I love talking to people, you know, I love being social, or I love going to events, you know, you could have a blue secondary. So, you know, this isn't like a black and white thing, but most people have a very, very dominant color. And then, like I said, you can have a secondary. Everybody does have a little bit of everything. So you are going to have some characteristics from each color, and you're not going to have some characteristics of each color. So if you heard me say something and you're just like, like, maybe that's not you, you know, no big deal. But I think this is really great to help everyone communicate. Do you guys have any questions, or does anyone want to share what they are? I'm going to actually turn the recording off real quick.